Hey, spiritual superstars. How are you today? Come on in and type in your 4 1s, the opening of the spirit realm. And we are going to go ahead and get started. All right, so I have my 4 1s in. Go ahead and just type in your 4 1s. Happy, beautifully blessed new moon in Virgo energy. It is a beautiful day. So come on in, come on in. And we are just going to talk about how to heal yourself. I believe that's very possible. I'm living proof of it, and so many people are. So we're going to just talk a little bit about that today, especially in the climate that we are living in. It is dangerous out there. So, and inside, it's dangerous in the house. So we just want to make sure that we are covering all bases. Hey, Miss Wood. So welcome everyone. So come on in and raise your vibration. And when we do that, we are simply really taking ourselves out of our current circumstances and we are elevating our energy to our highest, the possible that we can, the highest point in which we exist. And we are all things positive, all things bright and lovely, and just beautiful and happy when we elevate and we ascend into our higher self. And so when we take that deep breath in, we are detaching from the things that might be bothering us, they might be disrupting our peace, and just your current circumstances, your reality. On your exhale, you want to really allow your breath to pull that away from you. So that is purposeful breathing. It's breathing, and some people call it a technique. So I'll leave you to judge that or to call that what you want, but it simply is a way for you to get into your zone and ground yourself. Ready? Deep breath in, raising your vibration, kissing your higher self, connecting with the divine, and exhale. All right, so spiritual superstars, thank you so much for supporting our channel. And as we grow and we evolve and we expand and we kind of go into different areas of health and wellness and spirituality, thank you so much. Whatever I can do for you, comment and let me know. And I so appreciate your feedback. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button and showing me that you like and you're receiving value from our content. And thank you so much for subscribing and coming back for more free spiritual guidance as well as our membership. We've started our membership here on YouTube so that you know that. And you can also find more content, more programs over at spiritualguidanceacademy.com. So our human is our vessel. That's our body. And we know that our body is here on a limited time. We have birth and death. And in that life, we sometimes are diagnosed with different conditions. Sometimes we're not, and we just go through the symptoms and we try to self-medicate. And sometimes even when we get sick, it might be acute or not chronic, which means that acute meaning there's a cure, it will pass, it's temporary, but also chronic, meaning there is no cure, that also can pass. It also means it can be temporary. Chronic meaning there's no cure. So I, for example, was diagnosed with systemic lupus rheumatoid arthritis, degenerative disc. They put fibromyalgia on there. And yet I feel very healthy. I am very healthy. And I am not seen by a physician. And sun just went away, so I'm going to just put that on. And hopefully that is not going to like blare me out with the light. Let's see if I can get a good kind of, I don't know. I'll leave it like that. Is that okay? Leave it like that. And so in the beginning though of those diagnoses, it seemed really, really tough and really difficult to look past that. And so I would just definitely recommend anybody who is at that point of giving up or feeling like there is no other option than what a medical doctor or an expert in the medical field has given you, to just stay open to what God has already done for you. So I say that with a smile because what someone can say they've diagnosed you with based on the symptoms that you have or the test results, even lab work that shows certain markers that are attached or associated with a diagnosis. Still, there is that need to have hope and faith that you are able to heal your human. And so understand that. Understand that because it goes against human logic. The human logic part of it is the doctor telling you, you have these symptoms. We're going to say you have this going on because those are the symptoms that are attached to this defined medical condition. And that's logical, it's reasonable. Your human needs and wants to hear that just as much as you, the soul within your human, needs to know and wants to hear and receive that there's an infinite, abundant blessing just for you. And that is where your faith comes in. That is where the hope comes in. And so you might be waking up, experiencing a spiritual awakening that says, I was diagnosed with this, or I'm receiving these symptoms, or I'm going through this medical condition and I feel really down and out, but part of me feels like I can beat this. And I'm here to tell you to strengthen that side of who you are, because that's the side of you that is attached to our Creator. Not to say that your human is not. It's to say that at that moment, that's when things have shifted. And that is when you start taking over and controlling your life. And in that moment, I really want you to know that's happening so that you can be accountable, so that you can be active in what happens going forward. So you are the soul within your human. You definitely can heal your human of many different chronic conditions and symptoms and diagnosis. Here's what I did and why I say this. When I was told about all of these diagnoses, I believed it because I was receiving symptoms that caused me to go to the doctors results that happened that I didn't want to happen. I miscarried. I had stillborn son. Something was going on inside of me that I needed to understand. And I was sore. I was in pain. I was losing control of my life and I wasn't happy. I was depressed. I was on the brink of giving up. And a medical doctor, actually a medical team, told me, you have X, Y, and Z, and here's the medication that you need to take. And so these medications were prescribed to me, and I was in the most saddest mental state at the same time. But I also knew that I serve a God that has blessed me many, many times before. And I believed that there was some hope that my body would be okay, and that the doctors telling me that I would never be a mama, to no, don't even try because you will die and so will your baby, was not true. That's faith. That's faith in the unknown. And it's really important that you have that faith, right? And so that intention, that thought is attached to the faith that you can heal your human. And so I went from feeling extremely depressed, broken, no hope on the outside, listening to people, family, people I loved and respected tell me you need to listen to the doctor, you need to take the medication that they're prescribing, even though through my research I knew that the stuff they were prescribing was very heavy and had already been limited by the FDA. So how could it be good for me? If something is only limited by a certain amount that I can take as a human being, then why am I taking it? If it breaks my human down, but it treats symptoms that my human is exhibiting, why am I taking it? That was my question. And so I prayed about that question. And I followed my spiritual guidance. And what I got was, Nikki, you need to take control of your life. And you need to not hand it over to medical doctors, to family, to friends, people that love you, and people that are going to make money off of you. And so I went into isolation. And I am a heavy researcher, and I started doing even heavier research for my own life. And so I became the doctor of me, guided by the Most High. So what I was being guided to do was, for example, lifestyle medicine. It was lifestyle choices that I was making that were different. So for example, the degenerative disc, I would be at work swollen, my back would be in so much pain. I would leave on my lunch breaks, and initially I was begging my rheumatologist to please give me another shot, give me a series of shots in my back. It was cortisone, it was a steroid, and I was asking him to please, I would be begging him to please because otherwise I would be taking such heavy medication, pain medicine, that I would be so loopy at my job I couldn't function. And I didn't have children then, but it was affecting my driving, it was affecting my life. And I just wanted the pain to go away. And he would say that we can only give you a certain amount legally. So I was like, okay, this is not good. So I was icing my back, heating pad, everything. Didn't even want to get up to go to the bathroom. I would be in so much pain. Well, I remember going by, I took a different route from work. And why did I do that? I heard God tell me, turn left off of Cobb Parkway. And I turned left. I blew the horn. I had my hand out asking the people to let me over. And that's following your spiritual guidance. Spirit will come in, direct you, guide you in the pathway that you need to go in, and you do it. Okay? Does that make sense so far? Does that make sense so far? Thank you so much, everybody. What beautiful comments in the comment section. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I love y'all so much. Okay, so that makes sense. So I made the left. My energy was telling me, keep looking left. And so I kept looking left. I looked at this little 3-building unit that was like a 3 stores in the one building. And I saw chiropractor. And I got my tingling, my prickles all over my scalp, and I got goosebumps. And I felt the waves of energy all over my human. And I put my blinker on. I pulled in. And I said, I need to be seen. What do I need to do? And he became my doctor. I fell absolutely in love with him. He was so compassionate. He was so loving. He was so gentle. He was very kind. And he was very direct. And he cared about his patients. And he adjusted me. He wouldn't use any of the pen or anything. You see, some people have to use this little gun, like it looks like a pen. He never used a machine. He used his body and his techniques. And he had been in practice for like 30 years. And he told me, don't wear any more heels. And I said, oh my gosh, I was a stiletto wearing woman. And I love my heels, my boots. Oh my goodness. And he said, no more. I said, okay, no more. And I started stretching. I remember one day I woke up, and in the middle of the night, I don't remember the time it was. I know it was between 3 and 4 or 5. It was in our hour of awakening. And I saw myself in a particular stretch. At the time, I was doing massages on the, I had a lot of private clients, and a lot of them were celebrity and stock exchange and just executives. And so I could see myself doing a stretch that I would halfway have them do on the table. And so I did that. And I could feel the stress leave my body. And I kept doing that. I just went to doing that as often as I could during the day. I went home for lunch, I was doing that stretch. I woke up doing the stretch. I went to bed doing the stretch. And I just began incorporating different natural techniques. I started eating differently. I started going through life differently. Fast forwarding to now, after being told every 6 months, I need back surgery, I need this and that, and being able to take myself off of all the medication that I was ever prescribed, and my rheumatologist quitting me, him telling me, you don't need me. We don't see anything. There's no reason for you to see me. I need to see patients that need me. To now, I take vitamins that are plant-based. I use natural things around our home. Even my lip gloss is vegan. You know, my makeup, it's all vegan. My skincare, it's vegan. My nail polish is natural. You know, it's crazy. And I say that all to say that when you make these lifestyle changes, you are going to feel it. Can you just up and take yourself off of medication? I feel like someone's talking about metformin. I don't believe that anybody should just cold turkey off of a synthetic drug. Here's why. Because synthetic chemicals alter our human. That's why they are prescribed. So it is irresponsible for one to go cold turkey off of a medication that has completely altered the chemical makeup of your vessel. Wean yourself off with the direction and guidance of your medical team, and be empowered enough to have that conversation. It's really important. How often do you go into your medical doctor's office and feel vulnerable, afraid, unaware of what questions to ask, and whether or not you're even allowed to ask them? That is what happens in most situations in that room. Let me just give you this so that maybe this will help you open that door and start the discussion. Okay? I want you to go into your doctor's office with a notebook, a pad of paper, and your pen or your pencil. From now on, you don't go in there unless you have your paper and you have your pen or your pencil. That's your tool. That's your sword. That is your shield. That's your strength. That's going to give you confidence and it's going to build your power. Okay? And it's going to stop you from giving your power away, because before you even go in that office with your pen and your paper, you're going to sit at home and you're going to meditate on the questions that you really have. And guess who is giving you those questions? because that's who you're connected to. And that's who wants to see you healthy and happy. So I would sit there and I would ask the questions and I would write them down. And it got to the point where I didn't even have to ask anymore. I was answering them myself. I was sharing my results and my analysis, my research with my physicians, with my experts, medical experts, my entire team, sharing them with the nurses. My power was growing. I was just empowered by the whole activities that I was doing. And it became a meeting of the minds. And that was authority that I hadn't felt before. So I encourage you to work your way to that if you are afraid to ask questions that are on your soul. How do you know you're afraid? When you feel a question coming and your doctor looks at you and just says, okay, so everything good? Or they, so do you have any questions? And you're just looking like, I don't really know if I should ask this. Okay, good. And they know they're rushing you along out of that room for the most part. Not everyone does that. But if you've experienced that, now you know why. Their time is money. Well, guess what? Yours is too. I want you to write that in the comment section. As I just looked at 1111 on the screen, your time is money. Your time is valuable. Your time is precious. Your life is valuable. Your life matters. I want you to write whatever comes to you as I say that. What comes to you? What is your affirmation? Your health matters. Your health is important. Your health is your wealth. Your health is everything. And at the end of the day, spiritual superstars, nothing else matters but your health. Nothing. You can work 20 hours out of a day. You can work 160 hours straight. You can get all this money, right? You can be making bank. You can all this stuff. But absolutely nothing will matter if your health is poor. If your health is not at its optimum. If you're not operating at your peak performance, if you're not healthy, the money doesn't matter because money can only do so much for your health, right? So thank you so much for writing that in there. Just definitely share your truth. And this is the new moon that we're doing this on. So take advantage of this health and wellness new moon and claim what is rightfully yours. When you write it down, you are bringing your human along for the ride. And you are telling your human, you know what? Okay, we deserve. And your human is on that. Okay, we do deserve. You know what? We do deserve. You may not take another swig from that cigarette. You might decide when you're on that social scene that, no, I'm good. You might sip that, little cocktail, or you might decide to have water instead. You know how many times I poured wine and opted for water? That's God. That's our angels, our ancestors. That's whoever spirit sends to me to say, nope, not right now. You need to have more water. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. Absolutely I do. So many times, and I've also poured a bigger glass of wine and I've only taken a sip and I'm good, you know? I either just wanted that taste or I just wanted a little elevate and that's it. So it really depends. You know, just listen to your human, right? So you're gonna write down those questions and you're gonna put it down. And you're gonna pick it back up and write it down again. Put it down. Go get groceries, go play, go to work, create your content, do what you have to do, but then pick up that paper whenever it comes to you. Who is giving you your spiritual guidance? It's going to come out of the blue, it seems like, right? It's going to come out of the thin air. It's going to come when you're watching something. Someone's going to trigger something in you. Who's doing that for you? Right? Go ahead and comment. Who's giving you your spiritual guidance, spiritual superstars? Who's doing that for you? Who's talking to you? Who's in communication with you all day and definitely all night? Right? Who's doing that for you? Right? Right. Look at Caleb. Most High God. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? Right? Look at that. Right, Alexis? Absolutely. So when that happens, you want to be ready. You don't want to be getting ready. You want to have that paper and you want to go into your doctor's office equipped with what Spirit gives you to say. Because in those actions, guess what you're doing? You're asking God to speak for you and through you. Okay? Thumbs up button, like button if that makes sense to you. During all the actions that I just shared with you that I was taking, that I encourage you to do, I was asking through behavior, through taking action, asking and requesting the Most High to speak through me and for me. Because that is who's feeding you with your spiritual guidance. Right? Awesome. Awesome. And so you go in there, pen and paper, ready to take notes, just like you're taking an exam. Because you are. This is the exam of your life. Nothing else matters. That comes first. And you are your life. So absolutely you come first. Okay? So if they don't know the answer to your questions, and every question is the right question to ask, no question is silly, no question is dumb. Every question is the right question that you're supposed to ask your medical team. If they don't know the answer, that's okay. That's okay. But what needs to happen is that they help you get the answer. And you will see in that moment if they're open-minded or if they're closed-minded. And if you don't resonate with their response, then I want you to say that. I feel kind of uncomfortable. It doesn't sound like you know the answer, and that's okay, but it kind of feels like you're not willing to find out. How can we find out? How can we get the answer? Some doctors won't be open. Some doctors will be offended that you ask. Some doctors will be all in and appreciate you taking control in the reins of your life. So make sure that you're getting answers, you're following up. They're either going to have their nurse call you, get in touch with you, something like that. But someone is going to get back to you with those answers. Call them on that. Make them do their job. Okay? Whether you don't have insurance or you've got insurance, they are there for you. Okay? Agreed? They are there for you. So, medical doctors treat symptoms. All right? Lifestyle medicine people. I am a lifestyle medicine woman. I go to the origin of why you're having those symptoms. And we attack that. We treat that. I am all about preventative. And once something has happened, we reverse engineer that and we go back to the start. Instead of putting a band-aid on your life, I want you to live your life to the fullest. And so I want you to be empowered to take those steps because you can heal yourself from a lot of different things. Okay, here's some of the feedback that I get, and I want you to really comment. Do you believe that you can heal yourself? Some people believe, some people don't, and some people are very afraid, and I understand that. Oh my goodness, I understand. Some people have been on medication that has given them a little bit of a reprieve, and that's good enough for them. They're very afraid to take it a step further and really live that vision that they are having in their mind's eye that says they can be off of chemo, that they can be off of this daily synthetic drug, that they can go back to working out, that they can stay out of the emergency room. There's all kinds of things that go through our whole thought process. I would challenge you to ask the Most High why you keep having that vision that doesn't quite fit with your current circumstances. The visions that I kept having were living my life to the fullest. The visions that I kept having defied human logic. The visions that I kept having definitely went against what my medical team was telling me. The visions that I kept having that pulled me out of the funk were of my children, of my daughter that I knew I was supposed to have naturally, that I wasn't supposed to adopt or foster care. She was going to come from this human vessel. She was going to be birthed through me, naturally, conceived naturally. And that was the vision that I had. And that is what happened 4 weeks early. She was 8 pounds 4 weeks early. Now, anyone that knows about childbirth, I did get an epidural. She cried so big. She had tons of hair. My doctor was making, part of her name is Rose. He was making little rosettes in her hair when she was crowning. So when he handed her to me, her hair was all roses. And I thought it was a miracle. I was just taking it all in. And he was like, "Did you see her hair?" I was like, "Yeah." My gosh. He was like, "I did that." I'm like, When? How? You want to have doctors like that, okay? They're totally all in. Just put themselves in as uncle right off the top. And 4 weeks early meant that she would have probably been a 14, 15-pound baby had she gone full term. But we scheduled her to be delivered naturally so that everything would go great, right? And everything went great. Not to say there weren't bumps along the way, but it is to say that they were not able to help me, and they were very direct about that. If anything goes wrong, if you have elevated protein, if there's anything, we cannot help you. And I was very clear because I knew who could and I knew who would. And just like that's on my wall, through all things that you go through, God makes it possible, right? Through all the impossible things that you're told, through the things that you can't do, miracles happen every day, all day. I'm a miracle. My children are miracles, right? You got here. Over how many? Was this like 400 trillion sperm that didn't make it, but you did? You're here for a reason. Your health matters, right? So I hope that this has helped you. Happy, beautifully blessed new moon. That's the day that we're doing this video on. And I'd like to know, as I work for my national certification, I'd like to know what you need from me as far as health and wellness. That's a big deal for me. And I don't believe that you can have spiritual health without whole body health. And I don't believe that you can have physical health without spiritual health. And I don't believe you can have um, a holistic lifestyle by just eating vegan or by just drinking more water. I truly believe that it has to be an entire holistic, whole body health approach. I don't believe you can stop the migraines from just taking a pill so much as you can with a whole body, well rounded, total lifestyle package of finding out what are the triggers. Are you drinking enough water? Is your human hydrated? Do migraines run in your family? If so, what was going on with them? When were they having them? What was going on in their life? What was their lifestyle like? Are you in a high stressed position during your work? During the day? How is your home life? What kind of things are going on that might be creating that imbalance? What is it? There's so much. So I want you to let me know what I can help you with, right? Because we're creating a lot more, and I'm excited about it. And I'm excited to see where Spirit has us going. So thank you so much. Y'all have a beautifully blessed day. And yes, I totally believe that. Hey, LaFon, and everyone else, thank you so much. And I will see you very, very soon. Oh, as a side note, remember we've started our membership. So I will see you on the inside as well. First level, we will be doing our adult content. It is raw. It is, unfiltered. Our readings, very direct. I know that we have some very young spiritual superstars. Thankfully, I'm very grateful for you. Keep on coming back. And I'm going to do whatever I can for you. And parents out there, guardians, Thank you so much for bringing the young ones to our family. That is a huge blessing. I am forever honored. I'm so humbled by that. Thank you so much. Um, and so, because we are a kid friendly platform, the adult content will be on membership, and the readings will be on membership going forward. And we also have some more things. So I encourage you to check it out, including relationship coaching, guidance, and advice. And I'll see y'all very, very soon. Love you.